Hey guys, good afternoon. It's almost 1:05. We had some technical difficulties today, so that's why we are starting off a little late. But it's always good to start late and never. So we are here at Radio Punjab, AM 1310. We have a lot of things happening today, and we have some special guests as well. So stay tuned. We'll start the show in about a couple of seconds, and then we'll introduce you to the guests as well. So. गुड आफ्टरनून सारे सुनने वालों को सबको बहुत प्यार भरी सत श्री अकाल नमस्ते आदाब वेरी गुड आफ्टरनून एवरीवन आज हम लोग थोड़ा लेट स्टार्ट हुए जस्ट बिकॉज वी हैड सम टेक्निकल डिफिकल्टीज हियर इन द रेडियो स्टेशन एंड as everybody knows के टेक्निकल डिफिकल्टीज का हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते कई बार we are all on track to start the show, but then due to internet issues, due to the box issues, or due to other issues, हम लोग live नहीं जा सकते. But anyways, now we are back live and we have a full packed show. We have some special guests as well on. They will be here. They are actually here in the studio as well. I will be introducing them in due course of time. But at the same time, as I said, आज का दिन जितना भी हमारे पास आज टाइम बचा है इस शो में we are going to talk to the CEO and CIO of that company as well as we are going to talk about what's happening in the Bay Area. उसके साथ साथ we are definitely going to play some songs, some requests, some dedications जो last couple of weeks में मुझे आई. Last Sunday का show was a fantastic show. All thanks to Abhishek Prasad, and the good news is he has launched his own single. मुझे नहीं पता कितने लोगों ने डाउनलोड किया कितने लोगों ने उसको खरीदा है but I would recommend and suggest and kind of tell you he has done a fantastic job. Somebody who followed his dream, his passion and is trying to make it a success. So आप लोग जरूर जाएं, download his song and listen to his song. And also we have a GoFundMe page for him. उसके बारे में भी हम बात करेंगे थोड़ी देर में. But at this point of time, I think we have, let me see, when are we getting into a commercial break? We have about 3 minutes. So let me start off the show with a song, and then uske baad we are going to talk to RV Matrix and what they do and what are they all about. So to start the show, let's start with a Punjabi song, and this is doing good on mixtape. So here you go. All right, guys, we'll be back after a short commercial break.
कितनी बारी कहा एनआरआई मैरिज ब्यूरो वाले नाल गल करो साडी बेटी दा रिश्ता भी एनआरआई होया सी देखो कितनी खुश है ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਕਾਮਯਾਬ ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇ ਲਈ 100% ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਭਰੋਸਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇਦਾਰਾਂ ਤੇ
When we go on air, we should have it.
ਸੰਪਰਕ ਕਰੋ ਪਿਛਲੇ 15 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਬੈਸਟ ਮੈਚ ਮੇਕਿੰਗ ਕਰਾ ਕੇ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ ਪਾਤਰ ਬਣ ਚੁੱਕੇ ਐਨਆਰਆਈ ਮੈਰਿਜ ਬਿਊਰੋ
All right, guys, so people on Facebook, as I told you, or I've been telling in the last 1 week, we have a lot of guests, who are queued up for the show. And to start off today's show, we have two amazing gentlemen here, all the way from India. I'm pretty sure they will talk a lot about what they do, why they're here, and what's stored for their company. But a little bit, RB Matrix is a company which is based out in India, and I think I will definitely let them talk more about it. But I think they are venturing out and they are growing big time in US. And this would be a good platform for them to come and talk to all of us, let us know what they are all about. As much as I've read, they are into some great niche skill sets, and we definitely want people like them, to come and tell everyone here what they are about, what can we expect, and how people who are looking for something what they do can reach out to them. So they will definitely share their information as well. And a couple of things which are already on the Facebook page, I've already tagged them, so you can definitely go out and read about them. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to them right away. They are in the studio, and they are available on the studio line at 408-934-1310. Or you can post a question here on Facebook Live itself, and I will take up those questions. I will also be introducing them once we go on air, which is about 2 minutes away. So once we are live on air, I'm going to introduce them, and then you can push your questions. Meanwhile, you can also send us any song requests, anything that you want, or you can reach us on the studio line just to say hi at 408-934-1310.
ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਇੱਕੋ ਛੱਤ ਹੇਠ ਹੋ ਜੂ ਜੀ ਛੇਤੀ ਦੱਸ ਪੈਣਾ ਛੁੱਟੀਆਂ 'ਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਨਾ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾਈਓ ਤਾਮੀ ਡੈਂਟਲ ਕੇਅਰ ਵਾਲੇ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਦੀਪੂ ਦਮਨ ਸਿੰਘ ਤਾਮੀ ਤੇ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਬਰਕਜਿੰਦਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਕਲੇਪੁਰਲੋ ਉਹ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਦੰਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਫਿਕਸਿੰਗ ਇੰਪਲਾਂਟਿੰਗ ਫਿਲਿੰਗ ਸਕੇਰਿੰਗ ਤੇ ਰੂਟ ਕਨਾਲ ਟ੍ਰੀਟਮੈਂਟ ਤੇ ਨਾਲੇ ਦੰਦ ਕੱਟਦੇ ਨੇ ਬਿਨਾਂ ਪੀੜ ਤੋਂ ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਕਰਾਊਨ ਬ੍ਰਿਜਸ ਬ੍ਰੇਸਿਸ ਤੇ ਫੁੱਲ ਡੈਂਟਲਸ ਵੀ ਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਦੱਸਾਂ ਟੀਥ ਵਾਈਟਨਿੰਗ ਤੇ ਸਮਾਈਲ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨ ਵੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਸੱਚੀ ਇੰਨਾ ਕੁਝ ਇੱਕੋ ਕਲੀਨਿਕ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਪਤਾ ਦੱਸ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਲਿਖ ਫਿਰ ਤਾਮੀ ਡੈਂਟਲ ਕੇਅਰ 181 ਆਰ ਮੋਡਲ ਟਾਊਨ ਜਲੰਧਰ ਫੋਨ ਨੰਬਰ ਵੀ ਨੋਟ ਕਰ ਲੈ 917087987970
ਕੈਲੀਫੋਰਨੀਆ ਦਾ ਸਫ਼ਰ ਕਰੋ ਰੇਡੀਓ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ
ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਵੇ ਏਰੀਆ ਤੋਂ ਸਾਡਾ ਬਾਦਰਾ ਰੇਡੀਓ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਚੱਲੇਗਾ
ਹਾਈਵੇ 101 ਤੇ ਰੋਜ਼ਾਨਾ ਤੋਂ ਸੈਂਟਾ ਬਾਦਰਾ ਲਈ ਰੇਡੀਓ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਟਿਊਨ ਕਰੋ AM 1310
Sure. It's almost 8.
AM
377 ਮੀਲ ਤੱਕ ਕੋਸਟ ਲਾਈਨ ਦੇ ਸਿੱਧਾ ਆਨੰਦ ਮਾਣੋ ਰੇਡੀਓ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ
ਔਨ 에ਅਰ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਨ ਲਈ ਕਾਲ 5594121313 559
Sales ਲਈ ਕਾਲ ਕਰੋ 5598033550
All right, guys. Almost there. We'll go on air and we will talk to the guests as well as we are going to take up your requests as well.
ਜਾਂ ਐਪ ਡਾਊਨਲੋਡ ਕਰੋ ਰੇਡੀਓ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਆਫੀਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਇਟਸ ਫ੍ਰੀ
Welcome back, guys. So एक बार फिर सबको a warm welcome on this Sunday afternoon. जैसे कि मैंने पहले बताया था, we had some technical difficulties, so that's why we had to start a little late. But it's right time to start the show. We have two fantastic people with me in the studio who are ready and ready to go. One of them is Mr. Rajesh Gopalswamy and Ananth Karthik. Rajesh is the CEO of the company we are talking about today, and Ananth is the CIO. And both of them, are a powerhouse, I would say, because they have been working together, or they've been actually studying together and now working together as well for, I don't know, so many years, and they have built up many companies. They've been part of many startups. They have done fantastic work both in India and abroad, but now they are here to talk about their company RV Matrix. It's doing fantastic in India and other countries, but I think one of the key areas that they are focusing on is this country in US now, and they will be building up a strong base here, and that's why we have them in the studio. So instead of me talking about them or telling you more about them, let me pass on the mic to Karthik, Ananth Karthik, who is the CIO of the company, and he can definitely tell you guys and me as well and educate me what they do, what exactly they are here for, and what is the expectation from or what the people can expect from the company, from them in the near future. Welcome to the studios, Ananth, and welcome to the studios, Rajesh.
Thank you, Varun. Namaste, everybody. And this is Ananth Karthik here, and thank you, Varun, for having us over. So I am the CIO for RV Matrix, and Rajesh is the CEO, and we both did our schooling from IIT Madras campus, the same campus with Mr. Sundar Pichai.
Wow.
The Google CEO did his schooling too. And so we did our engineering from Tamil Nadu in India, and then Rajesh moved on to do his MBA. I would let Rajesh talk about himself and then about the company.
Sure.
Yeah, namaste.
Wow, that was a good namaste.
Yeah, there's going to be a loud namaste out here.
Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank Varun and Radio Punjab for the opportunity that was given to us. Sure. And I would like to get started off with the famous quote of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, who said, like, by conquering your mind, you conquer the world. So presently, we traveled halfway around the world to San Francisco, and we are the studio, Radio Punjab studio, talking about like RV Matrix. And I would like to give a small introduction about like RV Matrix and what we do back in India and what we achieve or envision to do in US. RV Matrix is a 13-year-old company started in India, and the first few products of RV Matrix is the ERP software, which was indigenously developed by RV Matrix and rolled out across various industries in India. And we have set up a center of excellence in 2009 and started working on key automation projects in banking, financial services, and insurance space. This eventually led us to offering services to the US-based global leader in consulting, technology, and outsourcing service with presence in over 40 countries. The year 2014 was a game changer, where we won a big automation business deal with another large service provider headquartered out of the United States of America in the field of robotic process automation. Based on the services provided by RV, the status of engagement was established as a partner. So presently we are partnered with the US-based company and planning to expand into the US market as well.
Okay, that's great. That's great to know. And you know, from what I've read, from what I've heard from Ananth and the flyers, you know, you guys are really doing amazing job. But does that mean, you know, you talk a little bit about automation, robotics. So are you saying this is going to be a game changer for the next decade or so? Or how will this impact the industry here in US, and especially in Bay Area, which is the Silicon Valley? So how are you going to change the game for Silicon Valley?
Yeah, I mean, especially in the Bay Area and Silicon Valley, everyone is talking about artificial intelligence. So every company, right from the Tesla CEO to Facebook CEO, everyone is into artificial intelligence.
Right.
So the artificial intelligence starts off with the macro recorders to begin with. So you start doing macros, let's say, in Excel sheets. And then let's say that moves on to application macros, and then goes off to robotic process automation, and then to machine learning, where the machine learns all the standard processes and gives you a standard output, like the way you order something in Amazon. You get into Amazon, order some product. It learns what is your choice of interest, and the next time you log into the Amazon.com, it tells you, like, say, it gives you the products of your interest.
Correct.
So that gets into machine learning. Then it goes off to artificial intelligence, where it builds the machine's capability to imitate intelligent human behavior. And that's where like the entire like IT industry is like moving into.
Okay.
And the recent development, and I would say like the game changer, is going to be blockchain.
Okay. All right.
So I would like to add a few more things. So it's specific to any industry and specifically to the Bay Area. Automation is something that's coming into the, or rather it's already into the system a couple of years ago, and we're pretty much late. The actual thing is that if there is a change in the system, there's always going to be some resistance. And when there's a new technology that's being introduced, there's always going to be a lot of questions asked.
Sure.
So that's where the robotic process automation came in a few years ago. And today, when you compare it with industrial automation, we could always say that robotic process automation will not reduce full-time employees. It would definitely reduce the employees and enable them to work on better things.
Okay.
They can upskill themselves rather than doing the same old standard process.
Right. So that was going to be one of my questions, of course, whether automating everything, does that mean, and especially with the kind of work that you guys do, why you got to reduce the workforce.
Right.
But looks like, that's not going to be the case, and they can kind of hone their own skill set
Right.
and move to a different kind of special.
So a typical example would be the automobile industry, where there are a lot of people who are working there, and they got in a lot of robots to do the job, but still we have human presence now in the manufacturing units where they do work with the robots on the day-to-day life. So robotic process automation is very similar to that. It's just that the robots here are called bots. And these bots are just let into the system and ask them to do all the standard processes.
Correct.
They get automated and enables the employees to do much better things.
Got it. So guys, we'll continue to talk to them. We will have more questions, and I have more questions. But at the same time, अगर आप लोगों को भी कोई questions हैं, आप लोग भी कुछ पूछना चाहते हैं, you can definitely put it on the Facebook live page, or else you can call us on the studio line, which is 408-934-1310. We will play another song now, but we'll continue to talk to these guys and know and understand, how they are gonna do, or what are they bringing to table when they come big time in the Bay Area. I'm sure they're doing pretty well, as Karthik also mentioned. This is not gonna reduce the number of jobs. So in a way, they might be introducing more jobs and creating more jobs for the people here in Bay Area as well. So we'll continue to talk to them, but meanwhile, we will take a small song break, and we'll be right back. India, which is good, which is gonna be what? Almost 2 a.m. So thank you for joining. And for people from here, अगर आपको कोई questions है, if you have any, you can definitely reach out to us. All right, guys, we'll be back after a small commercial break.
ਗਿੱਧਾ ਤੇ ਭੰਗੜਾ ਵੀ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਵੇਗਾ ਇਵੈਂਟ ਸਪਾਂਸਰ ਸ਼ਿਕਾਗੋ ਪੀਜ਼ਾ ਵੀਡੋ ਬ੍ਰੋਕਰ ਦੇ 25 ਸਟਾਲ
Most all the ads that I play here is
Senior 65 and above kids under 7 years free ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਲਈ ਰਾਈਜ਼ਰ $15 ਟਿਕਟ ਸ਼ਿਕਾਗੋ ਪੀਜ਼ਾ ਦੀਆਂ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਲੋਕੇਸ਼ਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਅਤੇ sulekha.com/pca ਤੇ ਅਵੇਲੇਬਲ ਸਪਾਂਸਰਸ਼ਿਪ ਲਈ ਕਾਲ ਤੀਸਰਾ 40887019 ਜਾਂ ਸੋਲਰ 5107604275
So yeah, that's the thing.
4086583909 media sponsor Radio Punjab ਭੈਣ ਜੀ ਪਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਰੂਬੀ ਦਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਦਿਖਾ ਦਿਓ ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਕਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਢੁਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ
Yeah, you want to switch it off and then continue talking.
ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਵਾਰ ਕਿਹਾ ਐਨਆਰਆਈ ਮੈਰਿਜ ਬਿਊਰੋ ਵਾਲਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰੋ ਸਾਡੀ ਬੇਟੀ
They pay for it.
ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਕਾਮਯਾਬ ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇ ਲਈ 100% ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਭਰੋਸਾ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ
अपने बच्चियां रिश्तेदारों से अपने योग के सफर इसके लिए संपर्क करो पिछले 15 साल
particular number of time.
Correct.
It's like 10 minutes in 1 hour.
Yeah, so normally it starts at like 10 seconds slots,
Okay.
and from 10 seconds to like all the way to the entire day. We have multiple slots that we sell. They sell.
And you give a report on the like say show. Like
No, I think it's more about trust. I think because this goes in a loop, so it's not manual, it's also automated. So these ads are already played. So yes, if somebody asks for a report, maybe we can generate it that this is when it got played, because there is very little manual information. It's automatic. You can see whose ad is playing here,
how many seconds?
how many seconds.
पंजाबी बोली पंजाबी विरसा जिसदा कोई नहीं जवाब सुनदे रहो अपना हरमन प्यारा रेडियो पंजाब
So that's another great model of marketing. I think a great platform here in the US. People are doing, few of them are misusing this platform, but for businesses and for companies and for even last week I had this doctor here. Even for dentists, smaller clients, we do a lot of such, so we can invite them, and then they also give us ads on the radio station as well. So they feel good about it, they talk to people, and then we have this Facebook Live. So Facebook Live itself, we cater to about, on an average in a week, 5,000 users, 5,000 views, which is not bad.
फतेह कोई बुलांदा कोई करदा आदाब सुनदे रहो रेडियो पंजाब
जी 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 ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਆਰਡਰ ਤਿਆਰ ਹੈ ਅੱਧੇ ਘੰਟੇ ਦੀ
Alright guys, so we are gonna be going live on air, and then we'll continue to talk to Karthik and Rajesh. Okay, Karthik, right? Okay. And अगर कुछ questions है, कोई song की request है guys, put it across and I'll take it up. But एक दो गाने और play करेंगे. We have less time today. Hopefully next Sunday we will have more time. But due to the technical issues, I think we lost a lot of time today. So I'm gonna give the entire time that is left to these guys so that they can talk about the company, and let's hear them out. Welcome back guys. So that was a quick commercial break, और break पे जाने से पहले हम लोग बात कर रहे थे आनंद से और राजेश से about RV Matrix, and one of the questions that definitely come to my mind is because I was actually talking to Ananth about it, and I will let him answer the question, but I've heard RV Matrix is also into the education domain. So do you want to share some thoughts about it? Why? What are you doing, and what's happening in the education industry?
Sure. So education is a vast field. It starts with books to computer-based training to web-based training. So that's kind of having a big impact, and you need to have a lot of access to computers and mobile phones, and that's what's happening today. You can just download an app and you could just learn stuff. But what's happening is that the amount of information that the person takes in, he needs to retain that and use that at the right time. So that's the focus that RV Matrix is getting into, and so we are venturing, and we have ventured a little bit outside into augmented reality and gamification.
Okay.
So as per the survey, 80% of the internet content by 2019 is going to be only videos.
Wow.
Okay, so that's going to create a lot of opportunity for people to learn.
Right.
Instead of reading a 100-page document, they would prefer to see a video. So today we are kind of working on a lot of augmented reality products in the medical space where the criticality is important, and where, you know, for doctors to learn, they can't afford to experiment on the patient. So that's one area. And for students, we are working on gamification. We're trying to, because everybody is addicted to an iPad or a tab or a mobile. So we are creating some games which they can learn from. So we work, today RV Matrix work with one of the largest conglomerates in India, and we create K-12 education material for them.
Okay.
So apart from this, RV Matrix also works with the government on certain education products where we would like to read the grassroots of the problem, you know, go to the grassroots and address the rural areas and provide required educational content for them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a social cost that we are into. And in addition to providing the education, we also have tied up with Pearson VUE for a partnership of certification.
Oh, great. Okay.
So whatever we train these students on, they get certified, and they get ready to attend the interviews and get a job. So they have a much higher percentage of getting into a computer desk job, I would say.
Okay. So in a way, how would you say, you know, what is a differentiator for RV Matrix in this domain?
So in this domain, we have kind of created some business intelligence apps, which measures what's the kind of information that is shared, how much is retained, and how much is used effectively. So that's what we are looking at. And with regards to we have a qualitative approach to any project that we're working on. So the 4 parameters that we are looking at is that we're looking at a quality of the product, of the information that goes out, and does it go out at the right time, and is it at the right cost or right price, would the end user be able to afford it? And we continuously monitor these 3 parameters and we innovate. That's the 4th parameter that we're looking at.
Okay. And so Rajesh, when you started off the company, I'm pretty sure, you know, you were young, you were energetic. You still are young. I'm not saying you're old, but you know, what has changed from the time that you started the company to where you are right now? What are the few things that you feel maybe proud of, and few things that you think you could have done better or you could have improved? And where do you see yourself and the company in the next 4, 5, 10 years?
Okay.
A lot of questions?
There's a lot of questions, but like, there's only one answer that I can give you.
Okay.
Everything is pre-programmed. Everything is fate.
Oh, wow.
So at the right time, you get the right opportunity, and then you go big. So I did my master's in US in 2004 to 2006. Then I worked in US for a couple of years, moved back to India in 2009. So I was like 29 years old like when I moved back to India. Then I started establishing my business network in India, and acquired RV Matrix and put up like a few startups, and was part of a different different companies in different industries. Like I was part of a distillery company in India which manufactured alcohol. It's no way related to my IT or as an engineer.
Of course.
It's no way related to it at all. So I was running the company for a few years also.
Okay.
So it's like I believe in one thing, fate. So at the right time, you will get the right team, and you got to keep your eyes open and pick up the right partners.
Absolutely.
And keep moving.
Absolutely.
So the next 4 years or 4 or 5 years, like say we plan to like say establish ourselves in the US market, and in artificial intelligence and precisely into blockchain solutions that we plan to provide to US customers.
Okay. All right. So, guys, you heard it right here on Radio Punjab. What is the future looking like for the company? What are the thoughts and ideas that these guys have? We will continue to talk to them. We do have to get into a commercial break. But before that, I'll ask a personal question and to both of them. I've seen, people who start companies, who run these companies, on a personal front, their families are the ones who suffer the most. And not suffer, but, they don't get to see you often. Because you're always looking at new, alliances, you're looking at partners, meeting them. So what about your family life? How is your family life? Is the family, they get to see you more often, or are you also traveling most of the times?
Okay. Okay, it's again the way you handle the situation. As we are in India, there's like a few ways in which we handle the family, or we have proper time for the family and business.
Okay.
So one thing what I do is put up a proper support mechanism back in India.
Okay.
So that we get a luxury back in India. We can put up a driver. You can have a couple of nights. I can have a nanny for my kid. So we have like 4 or 5 people working for you, or taking the majority of the time of my wife.
Yep.
So she's cool. I keep her cool, so she doesn't like really bother
Happy
me.
wife, happy life, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And the other thing is, like, when I travel on business, like, I also take my family once in a while.
Nice.
So I just like let them to explore the city. Then I go for my conference.
Great.
So it's like
work-life balance, huh?
Yeah, for both of us.
Perfect. What about you?
To add to what Rajesh says, I think they kind of share and understand our passion.
Yep.
Okay, what we're doing. So there was a phase of a couple of years where we would hardly meet on a weekly basis, or rather once in 15 days. But today, I think we are more, we understand each other, and the main criteria is they are the biggest enablers for us to achieve.
Absolutely, that's very true.
There's always a woman behind a man's success. So it's a mother, wife, daughter. So that's how it is.
Exactly. That's what holds the fort, because that's what I keep on telling my wife. I recently started with a startup. I joined a startup. Life has changed. Coming from a big organization to a startup life, and I've been hearing about it from people. But then when you get into that kind of mode, that's when you realize that how true it I was. And that's what I keep on telling my wife, that things will get better. Things will eventually. And hearing it from somebody who is more experienced, definitely, and since my wife is also watching, she will definitely be happy that things will definitely get better.
You tell something nice.
Yes. So thank you so much for that as well. All right, guys. So we are gonna take a small song break again. We'll be back with a few more questions. We have some time left on the show. We have some questions as well for them. So अगर आप लोगों को भी कोई गाना, कोई request है, you can definitely call us on the studio line. Otherwise, if you have any question in the automation and the robotics domain, आप उसके लिए भी call कर सकते हैं. The studio number is 408-934-1310. All right, on that note, I am going to play a song here, again from the T-Series mixtape, which is doing wonderfully well. Here's the song, Tu Jo Mila Rabta. Try something. All right, guys, we'll be back after a small commercial break now.
870 और विजिट jammuhospital.com स्वर्गा तो सोना साडा देश है पंजाब सुनदे रहो रेडियो पंजाब
जी भुख लगी है किदां करिए
करना की है कल तैਨੂੰ ਕਿਤੋਂ ਪੀਜ਼ਾ ਖਵਾਵਾਂ
कितों नहीं जे खवाना है तो शिकागो पिज्जा
All right, guys, so we have a quick 3-minute commercial break. उसके बाद हम बात कंटिन्यू करेंगे RV Matrix के बारे में, and I'm gonna show you something. So this is the business card, and as you can see, there are more than one names mentioned here. I leave it इसी point पे छोड़ता हूँ इसको क्योंकि I will let them talk about why there are 3 or 4 different names on the back of the business card, and also what specifically each of those names mean and what do they do. So I never expected this to go on this level, but I'm really in awe of these 2 gentlemen sitting here. In लोगों ने not only they are building companies, they are building a lot of value, a lot of things they are bringing to table. So I would let them talk more about what exactly each of the companies does. और अगर आपको भी कोई question है, if you really want to get in touch with them, where can they get in touch? Where can you get in touch with them? And all the details specifically about their name, email, phone number, and contact details वो भी आपको अभी share करेंगे हम after this small commercial break. And thank you guys for tuning in. I know it's pretty late, especially people in London. I think that should be okay. And people in India, of course, tomorrow is Monday. So आप लोग इस time पे भी radio show सुन रहे हैं. So really thank you from the bottom of my heart and from the bottom of their heart as well, I'm sure. All right. So we are going to get into on air now in about 40 seconds.
I'm a paramedic, and it may sound silly, but a lot of people are afraid to call 911 when they're experiencing uncomfortable pressure, fullness, squeezing, or pain in the center of the chest. You know why? Because they think it would be embarrassing if it were false alarm. Instead, people risk permanent damage or death because they're afraid they might get a lecture. That's ridiculous. To learn more about heart attack warning signs, call the American Heart Association at 1-800-AHA-USA1 or visit us on the web at americanheart.org.
Welcome back, guys. So break पे जाने से पहले हम लोग बात कर रहे थे about RV Matrix, about GS Rajesh and Ananth, and we will continue to talk about it. Just a couple of things. This is going to be the last 10 to 12 minutes of the show. जैसे कि मैंने पहले भी बताया कि due to some technical issues, we had to start the show late and we had to kind of keep it short today. But उससे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा because next week we're going to be back with a bang and we will definitely spend more time next Sunday. But इस बार क्योंकि we have some very amazing guests in the studio, I'm going to give them the next 10 minutes to talk about all that they are doing. और break पे जाने से पहले और Facebook वालों के लिए मैंने ये भी बताया था कि I was looking at their business cards and there are quite a few names on the back of the card. So I'm going to let one of them answer, why do we have so many names and what does that imply? So I don't know, who wants to take it up?
So I'll take that question.
Sure.
So we at RV Matrix believe in that we need to ensure that our customers gain and maintain market share. And we also believe that we cannot, we need to be focused on a particular domain that we are working on. Mm-hmm. So that's where we started off with RV Matrix. We spoke about RPA and we spoke about education, what we're doing. Right. We also have another arm which is into mobile app development and product development within RV Matrix. So when we were developing certain products, since we were working on a lot of AI projects, we realized that the hiring space is one critical area, and we started off a startup called Rana Technologies. So at Rana we have one product which handles the idle resource of any organization. So today, the layoffs is a big challenge in the industry across the globe.
Yeah.
So we have created a platform where profiles are put onto it, all the idle resources within an organization, and anybody who would like to hire them on a short-term basis can come in and look for it. And the platform also has a little bit of intelligence that's built in. So probably tomorrow, if you put in that you have this project, then the platform will bring in the required
top resources,
required skill sets, and whatever is required for that particular project. So that's where Rana Technologies started off. And with Bhishma, I would let Rajesh take the lead on that.
Yeah, okay. Bhishma was a very interesting concept which evolved from Rana Technologies. So when we were discussing on this, like say, my father was there. He was a retired IAS officer back in India, and he asked us like, why don't we put up a portal for connecting retired bureaucrats across India? I mean that was like a beautiful idea, and I mean we immediately started put the blocks together and created a platform. The product will be going live by end of this year. And we have all the retired IAS officers, IPS officers, judges, and state and central government officials listed in our platform. And we are tying up with companies, and the companies, if they require the services to be utilized, they get 30 years of experienced retired bureaucrats services at their disposal.
Wow.
And that doesn't that's the first kind of move that's happening back in India.
Right.
I don't know that such kind of say IAS has been implemented in United States or anywhere else in the world.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So we before even launching the product, we have tied up with a few large-sized companies to do the entire financial restructuring using the expertise of retired bureaucrats, and also we tied up with the Tamil Nadu Film Producers Council for advising them on the new taxation policies that was implemented by Mr. Modi back in India, the GST.
GST. Okay.
And we are taking the anti-piracy also with them. So it's basically we have a list of companies back there, and we addressed the interest of the largest companies so that they can address our interest. And that's a selling point for us. So if they have a problem, we address the problem with Bhishma. We get them out of their problems.
Right.
Then when we go and approach them for a project, and when we tell them that we have a product, we have an artificial intelligence solution that can be provided for your existing issue that's going on with your company, they tend to hear us and they tend to give us the business. So it's an indirect way of selling the product.
Yep, and I think that's the whole idea about starting any startup, any new project, that you have to provide a solution to a problem. You cannot just look at building up a company just because you want to build it. You have to solve a big problem, and then that's how I think most of these companies like Google, like Facebook started off. They had a problem in mind and they wanted to fix the problem, and we all know where they are right now.
To add to what Rajesh is saying is that there are a lot of organizations that do want to set up in India or any other, they want to go across the globe. So Bhishma has a set of executives who would help them do that, starting from paperwork to the T, if they need something to be installed. So Bhishma has that expertise. So if they want some piece of land for a data center, then we could definitely help them from A to Z.
Pretty much you provide all kinds of services and solutions, huh? That also reminds me of one question which I had in mind. Now, as a company, do you guys have any kind of affiliations or certifications or regulatory approvals, and how does that work for you guys?
All right, so with RV Matrix, we are registered under NASCOM. NASCOM is one of the certificate.
Of course.
Institutions.
Bodies, yeah.
Yeah, certificate bodies in India. And we also, of late, were recognized by the CIO APAC Advisor magazine as one of the top 25 AI companies in the APAC region.
Congratulations, guys.
Yeah, and we, like I said earlier, in the education space, we have tied up with the Certiport peer review company, where we are providing the certifications for students to enable them. So that's about it.
Great. Okay, since we are, about 3 minutes away from the end of the show, any last thoughts, anything that you guys want to talk about?
Sure. We just came across a very interesting quote by Gertrude Stein, where he says that everybody gets so much information all day long that they lose their common sense.
That's, yep. If you think about it, yeah.
Yeah, so what we believe in as RV Matrix is that we need more hands to join us so everyone can benefit from the latest technology. Okay, be it RPA, be it blockchain, that's where we are in, and we have already established ourselves. And we do not restrict it to a narrow base, both in terms of economic and social sectors. So we want to keep it open. We want to grow together. That's one mantra. And we are basically here to forge partnerships for long term, and we need to develop together.
Absolutely.
And thanks for the opportunity.
Absolutely, it was a pleasure. I've learned a lot, and I'm going to learn a lot more because though this is not my domain, not my field of expertise, but hearing so much from both of you, I think I'm going to look into it and see if you have job openings that I can even apply for. But at the same time, I'll encourage people listening to us on air, people watching us on Facebook Live, guys, go to RV Matrix website, and before we do that, do you want to share the contact details?
Yeah.
Where can people contact you?
Sure. They can go to the website rvmatrix.in and look for all the information we can provide.
So rvmatrix.in is the website, and we're just redoing it a little bit, so it should be it's pretty good now, but there's going to be a little bit changes the next few days.
Okay.
And you could also reach out to CIO at rvmatrix.in. Okay. Spelled rvmatrix.in.
Yes. So all that information, of course, would be available on the Facebook page as well, guys. So I will be tagging them so that if you need to reach out to them, you can definitely do it through the email address cio@rvmatrix.in, or you can always find details on their website. Maybe one last question. Are you guys going to be in the Bay Area for some time? If people want to set up time with you, if they want to meet you, are you guys available, or is it going to be ad hoc basis, email, or what?
I mean, we are flying out tomorrow to Dallas and then to New York for a couple of other meetings.
Okay.
But like anyone want to like say meet us, it's a pleasure. We will fly back to San Francisco just for them.
Sure. And when is the next trip to San Francisco? Whenever you want.
The guys are ready. Yeah.
The demand based on the demand.
All right, guys. So that was Rajesh, Gopalsamy, Santanam, and Ananth Karthik, the CEO and the CIO of RV Matrix. So I think that's going to be the end of the show as well. We are getting into the last commercial break now. So thank you, guys. Thank you for joining and spending this time educating everyone. I'm pretty sure people will try to contact you. So and guys, again, this is the kind of work that we all are really looking up to. All the bigger companies as well, like Tesla's and Facebook's. Everybody's investing so much in this. So talk to them. You know who to contact, where to contact, and if you need more details, you can always reach out to me and I can connect you. So on that note, I'm going to leave you on a song till we meet next week on Sunday, and we will talk more about somebody else, something new. And if you like them, definitely call me and let me know, and we can definitely have them back on air or in the studio next time as well. Take care, thanks, and have a great week ahead, guys. On that note, here's a song by Shreya Ghoshal.
Thank you, Ron.
Thanks, bye. All right, let's say. All right, guys. Good day. Have a great week ahead, and we'll meet up next Sunday and have a good time. All right, thanks. Enjoy your week.